everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss an important concept related to your unit environment. So people development and environment is a unit and a lot of questions are nowadays asked from this unit, right? Let us look at this very interesting topic that is called as eutrophication. So eutrophication एक ऐसा topic है which I see every year a lot of questions are asked. So you need to know about this concept in greater detail. What is eutrophication? Let us discuss that. So eutrophication as defined can be addition of anything excess, or this excess can be the nutrients. These nutrients, when they are added in the water, the water becomes unfit. Naturally, there are some of the nutrients that are there in the water and it is needed for the growth of the plants and animals, the flora and fauna. But if it becomes excess, that process is called as eutrophication. Eutrophication defined as the addition of excess nutrients to the water body is a widespread environmental problem faced by the world's aquatic habitats. So you see that there are nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus always present in the water, but when these nutrients are increased, the growth of algae or the growth of algae hinders the growth of the other aquatic plants and animals that are there. So this process is called as eutrophication. The excess addition of excess nitrogen and phosphorus and other nutrients in the water will actually create the water as an unfit water body, and the natural process of the water body would be changed. So this process is called as eutrophication. So you can look at the diagram here, the things would be clear. Look at this process. The fly pectons growth actually increase. The green-blue algae that is there on the water surface is going to block the air, block the sunlight, and the flora and fauna who are situated below the water body will ultimately die. There are other problems like a foul smell that would be there. There will be a lack of oxygen there. So these changes will happen in the water body because of the process called as eutrophication. So excess nitrogen and phosphorus can be added. It can be man-made. It can be because of the natural process also. As the lake or any water body ages, the amount of nutrients also increase, the sediments also increase, and then also with the natural process, eutrophication can happen. So you can say in clear words, whenever there is excess of nutrients, there is always what? The process of eutrophication that is associated. These nutrients cause an increase in the fly pectons, in the algae. There will be a layer of algae. This is called as algae bloom. Because of this, a lot of problems will arise. Then, causes and the types of eutrophication. What are the various types that are there? So it can be caused because of the natural causes that can be called as the natural eutrophication. It can be because of the man-made causes called as cultural eutrophication. So the natural processes, the natural causes or the natural processes of aging of the lake during which nutrients the status of the nutrients in the water gradually increase and the oligotrophic lake is converted into eutrophic lake. Now there are different kinds of lake. I'll make a video about that as well. There are three most important kinds of lake and it is basically called as the status of the lake. So that is called as the trophic state of the lake. The amount of nutrients that are there in the lake will tell the status of the lake. It can be oligotrophic, and if the nutrients are in the balanced manner, you call it as oligotrophic lake. The water is also very clear and it is fit to drink, and also it basically is seen in colder regions. But when the amount of nutrients become too much, right, it can be your eutrophic lake. So these lakes are the lakes where the water will become unfit to drink. The algae would bloom there and the problems would start to arise. The flora and fauna would die because of this. So excess amount of nutrients are seen in this lake, and these lakes are called as the eutrophic lake. Hyper-eutrophic lake is a condition where there are a lot of nutrients are added. So that's the most extreme condition. The death of aquatic plants and animals also increase the nitrate and the phosphorus content in the water. So these are the two natural causes that can cause eutrophication of the lake. The first can be the aging of the lake. As the lake becomes older, the nutrient status there in the lake, in the water, can get affected because of that. Also, when the animals, the flora and fauna inside the lake die, the amount of nitrate and phosphate can increase, and in turn, the increase in the nutrients can convert the water body into a eutrophic region. There can be man-made causes. These are like the anthropogenic causes. We as humans are increasing the amount of nitrogen. The nitrogen, the phosphorus are coming from, we are adding these things in the water body. It can be from the factories, from the household residents. So there can be different sources, and these wastes are discharged in the water. So when these wastes are discharged in the water, the conditions of the water body would change, and it can turn into unfit water body, and eutrophication can happen. So these are called as the cultural eutrophication. Human activities are responsible, as you see that about 80% nitrogen and 75% phosphorus are added into lakes and streams because of the household and the factories, and they are called as the human activities. So because of the human activities, the lake can become unfit. So you can look at this picture and the things would be very clear. There can be waste coming from the farming land, from the factories, from different you can say outlets or various factories can be there. It can be household as well. Construction sites, from anywhere, the waste can be dumped in the water and the problems can arise. The use of NPK fertilizers, discharge of domestic and industrial waste, detergents, urban drainage, animal waste and sediments into the water bodies can lead to cultural eutrophication, right? So these can be the major cause. Now, what are the effects after eutrophication? What would be the effect? So the first is the various physical, chemical and biological changes in the water will be there, and the water and the quality of the water will deteriorate first. Then it prevents penetration of the light into the deeper layer. So suppose this is your lake and here you see a thick layer of algae that is called as algae bloom. Because of this, the sun's rays won't enter the water body and would be reflected back. So the water here, the below, would become unfit for the water, for the animals who are there, or for the flora and fauna. So they will start to die. It will become dense, it will become dark, because the sunlight won't penetrate, and of course they will not be able to prepare their own food. So the process becomes even bad, right? So this is the first cause. This is the second effect of it. Then it depletes the oxygen level and increase the carbon dioxide level in the water, and this is a very important effect. Also, a lot of time directly this statement is there in your exam. Whenever eutrophication happens, there will always be a depletion of oxygen and the CO2 will increase. This imbalance will also be a major cause of the death of the water, flora and fauna. Then the foul smell will be there. So the taste of the water will become very bad. It will become very muddy. It will become very adulterated, and also it will not taste good. It will be unfit for drinking, and there will be a foul smell. So people living close to that will also suffer because of the diseases that would spread. Spreading of the fatal water body diseases will also be there, like polio or typhoid. So these are the various causes. This process is called as eutrophication when there is excess amount of nitrogen present. If there is the right amount of nitrogen present, the lake is called as an oligotrophic lake or an oligotrophic water body. But when the nutrients are added in greater number, it becomes too excess. There will be an algae bloom and there will be problems arising. The algae would die, and then there would be a lot of oxygen would be used by the algae. So the water, flora and fauna would suffer because of that, right? So I hope you understood this concept. If you have any doubt, you can ask me that in the comment section and I'll surely reply to you. Thank you so much.